Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another video from me. And this time I'm going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch's price and that people are quite agitated about. And part of me can understand why there's a bit of agitation about the pricing of the Switch because, it's $300, then you have to pay $60 for a game. And then if you want a Pro Controller, you have to pay $70 for that. So that's literally $430 that you're paying right off the bat if you're going to play a game like that with the Pro Controller. You don't have to get the Pro Controller because the Switch does come with the Joy-Con holder, and you can play with it like a controller like that. And actually, from looking at the size of it, it kind of looks quite comfortable because it's not exactly bulging and huge. And you could play your games that way and save yourself $70 at the beginning and only pay $360. But just saying, if you wanted a Pro Controller, $70. Okay, cool. $430. And we don't know how much the online service is going to cost. I'm leaning towards $40, but it could be $60. So you're looking at between $470 and $490. Okay, I understand why somebody would not be happy with that. I get it. I fully do. But when the Xbox One launched, it was $500. When PS4 launched, it was $400. $60 for each of those. So $460 and $560. And then online for PlayStation at the time it was $50. Now it is $60. So that was $510. And for the Xbox One it was still $60 back then for a year's subscription service. So that was $620 just to get started. Just to get started. Not to mention that the Xbox One also has a Pro Controller option for themselves that's $100. Yeah. So, and we skip that at launch. Okay. Currently, you can get PS4, a PS4 Slim, and an Xbox One S for $250, around $250 with a game. I think each of them come with a game like that. Currently. Okay. We're going to compare their current price to the launch price of the Switch, then we should have compared the current price of the Wii to the launch prices of the PS4 and the Xbox One. Just thinking about it this way. If you're going to say, well, I can get a PS4 for $250 and then I pay $64 online, okay, that's $310. Okay, and then you still have to pay for a game, $370. Same thing for the Xbox One. Oh no, never mind. They each come with a game, so I gotta negate that. But what if you don't want the game that comes in the box? Then you still have to spend more money, right? Uh, okay, now let's go back to the Wii situation. The Wii Mini came out at $100. The Wii Mini was $100. You could get a Wii Mini, and then you could go get a Wii game. And Wii games were $50 generally on average. They were $49.99 on average. So you could have got playing on a Wii for $150. If talking about buying everything brand new, purchasing everything brand new, used, you could get it even cheaper than that. So is that a fair comparison to compare a console that's been out for a while to something currently that isn't even out yet, something that's coming out? No. One, because the Xbox One and the PS4 could do a whole hell of a lot more than the Wii could. Just like in the sense where the Switch can do things that both the PS4 and the Xbox One can't do. Or they can't do without some sort of augmentation from another device. Like with the PS4, you have to have a Vita in order to be able to play off TV. Or with the Xbox One, you need a computer with Windows 10 on it to be able to play off of your television. But nobody's pointing that out. Now with the Switch, it's built into it. It's literally built into it. With the Wii U, it was built into it. Hell, when the Wii U came out and it was $350 for the console and a game, people said that was too expensive. They said that cost too much for Nintendo. Without thinking about how much the cost of the other shit was. I'm just pointing that out. Now, if you want a similar motion control experience for the PS4, which would be with the PSVR. Gosh, I'm getting tongue-tied. I think PSVR is like $400. So that's 400 on top of that 250, and then you get the move controllers, which aren't that great as motion controllers, or they just haven't been programmed that well for. Um, which is a problem. Is definitely a problem, and it's something that they have to fix. Um, and I really blame the programmers on that. People programming it because you can look at it, the shit's janky as all fuck when you see it in video, and the character's hands are shaking, and the person is perfectly fucking still. But with the Switch, you have these awesome, well built motion controllers in the Joy Cons. And when you separate the Joy Cons, you actually get additional buttons. When you separate the Joy Cons, you literally get 4 additional buttons to use. But no, people don't think about that. I'm saying if you're using it for one person, you're using both Joy Cons and they are separated, you get 4 additional buttons with the SR and SL buttons. But people haven't brought that up at all. You have the motion control. You can also split them and use them as separate individual controllers, which gives you a lot of versatility. So to me, the cost of it is kind of fair because there's a lot you can do with the shit. And yes, Pro Controls also have gyro in them, and they also have the NFC chip in them, just like the Joy Cons do. So again, looking at this, I'm trying to be as objective as possible about this. Because a lot of these people that will complain about this did not complain back then. And a lot of them won't complain when the Scorpio drops and it's like $500. They won't. They'll be like, okay, I'm going to get that. And it's basically because of 4K. Not because it does a whole hell of a lot of shit differently. Not because it has a whole lot of added shit to it. Just because it looks better. That's worth the money. But not what the console can actually do. Not the different things it can actually do. Just that it looks better. I swear it's like people's priorities are not lining up right. Now, I understand people having a problem with the pricing, but if you have a problem with that pricing, you should have a problem with the pricing of every fucking thing else with how it's fucking set up. You should have a problem with paying paying $250 for a PS4 Slim and then paying $60 to get a game if it didn't come with the game that you wanted, because not everybody likes Uncharted. And then paying $60 again to play online. You're not paying much different of a price for that as you would be for the Switch by itself with the game. And the online isn't paid right off the bat. That's something that's coming like down the line. Not that I like it, but it's not right off the bat, so you don't need it immediately. You don't have to pay for it immediately because they're like giving it to people for free to test it out for a while until they get everything worked out, until they work the kinks the fuck out of it. So again, this is just me trying to look at this from more than one angle. But if you look at it one-sided, and that's what a lot of people are doing, they're looking at it one-sided, and I'm like, wow. So like you're not even going to think about all this other shit. You're just going to look at this and that and say that's it. Just that's it. Not thinking about any of the shit that happened previously. Not thinking about the context of what you're saying. Just saying it and just running with it. And this is even for people who I follow on YouTube and I follow them on Twitter because I like the stuff that they put out. I'm just like, are you thinking about what you're saying? Or are you just saying it and think, well, this makes sense on the surface, but I'm not going to look any deeper into it. I'm just going to immediately say, hell, fuck all this shit. And my first thought when I saw the Wii U's Joy-Con, not the Wii U, the Switch's Joy-Cons, I looked at them and was like, people are going to hack those and use them with their VR headsets. They're going to hack them into using them on their PC with their VR headsets. And I bet you there's going to be somebody out here who does it. But hey, whatever. Hell, they got a fucking IR pointer in the goddamn right Joy-Con that is literally the same thing as the goddamn Kinect. Just putting it out there. It's the same thing as the fucking Kinect. And it probably could be used the exact same way. But it's just me thinking about it. Like, I don't care if somebody's not happy with the price of the Switch and all the stuff once you add it up. Like, again, it's a new console, new technology. PS4 and Xbox One are both 4 years old. Even if they put a new iteration of them out, they're still 4 years old. The only one that might be an exception to that is the Scorpio, because it's supposedly going to be using newer hardware. Whereas the PS4 Pro is just doubled up on the same GPU and overclocked the CPU. But it's just me thinking, like, and I'm looking at how people just run with something, like, but their mind is like, it's like their mind doesn't go into what's going on. It's just what they get on the surface, and that's what they run with. And that's not about people just disliking the Switch itself. This is people that are interested in it, but making stupid ass fucking like saying stupid shit about it. I'm like, okay, like, then don't get the fucking thing. Like, nobody is twisting your arm to go out and buy it. Nobody is twisting your arm to try to make you to go get it. Like, that's your choice. Like, but if you're choosing to go get it, don't make these dumbass fucking complaints. Seriously, chill the fuck out. That's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me. And until the next time, please enjoy your games and peace out. Oh, and this is something I forgot to mention, and I meant to put it in the main part of the video, but you don't have game installs when you buy physical media for the Switch, much like with the Wii U. So again, you're paying for that optimal usage of the platform that you're purchasing. Whereas the Xbox One and the PS4, well, PS4 I don't think you have to install everything. The Xbox One you definitely do. But that's again an optimal thing that's coming with the Nintendo Switch that is not guaranteed on the other platforms. Just putting that out there because I forgot to put it on before I forgot to say it, so I'm tacking it on at the end. But again, peace out.